Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with a donation reward. We are here with Arlo the Alligator Boy. And let me make sure I get this correct because I don't want to get the name wrong. I believe, let me make sure. Yes, this is a donation reward for Gizmo. So thank you for your donation, Gizmo. I think this is a first time reward for Gizmo, so extra thank you for that. But Arlo the Alligator Boy. So what do I know about this? It actually did fairly well. I know it got a lot of positive attention, and it even spawned a series, which I think is around 20 episodes or so, from what I heard. I don't actually know what this is about, but I've seen like the character design and whatnot. He's an alligator boy. It's exactly what you'd expect. I've heard that the movie and the series, by extension, I guess, despite like being like a for kids kind of cartoon, is actually surprisingly, recommendable for adults even. Which a lot of animation nowadays is. This came out a couple years back in 2021, but still, it's still one of those cases where it's supposedly going to not just be a for kids kind of thing. At least from what I've heard. But I don't know anything about the actual story or anything. I don't know what this is actually about. So we're going into this very blind. I don't even know if there's like any VAs in this that I would know. I don't really know anything. And I'm kind of excited about that. And maybe if I end up enjoying this enough, maybe sometime down the line, the series will be either a reward as well, or I'll get to it otherwise. I don't know, it's possible. But yeah, we'll see how this goes and kind of hope for the best, I guess. But in the meantime, let's just do it. Don't really have anything else to say because I don't know anything else, so let's go. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the... Did I say that wrong? I'm gonna... Follow the link in the description below to the reaction. And after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, first off, I want to go through some of the cast before I share my thoughts and everything, because I want to see if I recognize them. So I have the pages up here on Wikipedia. So Michael J. Woodard was Arlo. Apparently, he was in the top 5 of American Idol. That's fun. And he's actually received awards for voicing Arlo. He's only 25 years old. He's just only a couple years older than my brother. That's interesting. He has not been in a lot, according to this. Apparently, he was a contestant in 2 different singing competitions, American Idol and something called Majors and Minors. But the only actual voice roles he had is Arlo. Like, that's the only voice role he's done. But he is a singer as well, obviously, American Idol and everything, but yeah. So maybe he'll have more voice roles in the future. I think he did a good job, so I'd be cool with that. Next we have the next one I wanted to look up because I know who Mary Lambert is. She's an amazing singer. She's also really big into LGBTQ plus rights and everything. And in fact, I think she's bi, I want to say. But yeah, she has a lot of great songs out there. So the next one that's on the list on Wikipedia is Alia's voice, Haley Chu. I don't know how you pronounce it. So I apologize for that. So let's look up. Apparently, she was in an episode of Hannah Montana. and Sweet Life on Deck. She was young London Tipton in Sweet Life on Deck. That's interesting. Okay. Some character named Stella on the Loud House. I don't recognize the name offhand. Maybe that's beyond where I got at the moment. That's possible. Oh, she's Lexi Kubota in Glitch Text? Oh, that's Miko's younger sister, right? It is the younger sister, right? The one who is big into karate? I believe so. She's fucking Marcy. She's Marcy in Amphibia. Okay. I didn't even recognize the name. I, I, I guess I didn't pay as much attention to Marcy's VA as Anne and Sasha's. Because with Anne, it's like I was already a big fan of Brenda Song. Also, that's fun that she voiced a younger version of London, and Brenda Song is London, so they've actually worked together on the same show before, Amphibia. That's fun. Um, but yeah, it's like, and Sasha obviously being my favorite character. It's like I'm gonna pay attention to that. Yeah, she's Marcy. You guys were probably shaking your heads when I didn't recognize her name there. Apparently, she's in an episode of Proud Family Louder and Prouder as well. One of, I guess, the season 2 episodes, because it says 2023. I didn't know Marcy. I didn't know Marcy had the same VA as Lexi from Glitch Decks. I didn't know that. Anyway, next we have Brett Gelman, who is Marcellus, because after Haley Jew, I don't know how to pronounce. I'm sorry. Is Jonathan Van Ness, and I know who Jonathan Van Ness is. But next, again, Brett Gelman as Marcellus. Oh shit! I just went to the page and instantly recognized him. He's Murray from Stranger Things. Holy shit! He's Murray from Stranger. I would have never guessed that. I have to hear. I have to hear his performance again. Apparently he's an inside job as well. That's interesting. Um, I would not have guessed that at all. Like, it just would not have occurred to me. He was in an episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Okay. I could see it. I could see him doing that, but... Also, apparently, he was in an episode of Adventure Time. I don't recognize the character's name offhand, but... I don't know. Might be an episode I haven't gotten to yet. Hard to say. But yeah, I know him as Murray from Stranger Things. I love Murray. Murray's great in Stranger Things. Yeah, apparently he's a recurring character in Inside Job called Magic Mike. I don't know who that is offhand. I don't know if I met that character in the very few episodes I saw, so... Anyways, so Tony Hale is next. Tony Hale was Teeny Tiny Tony. And the one I said I think was in MLP. But I'm looking at his picture here, and it's like, I very much know who he is now. I recognize him. Yeah, he was in Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip. He was also in, oh my god, what is it called? Oh my god, what is it called? My mind is blanking. Apparently he was in Toy Story 4, he was Forky. Oh my god, why can't I think of it? My mind is blanking. I love the movie. There's 3 of them. I think he's only in the... No, I think he's in all 3, actually. Hold on, I'll find it. He's been in a few things here and there. Oh, apparently he's in that Love, Simon movie. He was the Joker in Batman Ninja? What the fuck? Really? Okay. That's interesting. Oh, he was in Hocus Pocus 2. Is that what I was thinking of? That's what I was thinking of. For some reason, I was thinking of the trilogy of movie Fear Street. God, I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. I thought it was Fear Street, but no, it was Hocus Pocus 2. I knew the character, I mixed up the movie. What shows? Oh, apparently he's in an episode of Community. Oh yeah, the pottery episode. I think that's the original one I remember. Because I never got too far into that. Oh, apparently he was in an episode of Psych. That's interesting. I'm not going to remember a lot of episodic characters from Psych, though. Oh, yeah, he was Jerome Squalor in a series of unfortunate events. That's right. Yeah. The Neil Patrick Harris version. Also, apparently he's the Pie King in Star vs. the Force of Evil. And he's a couple characters in Amphibia, including Apothecary Gary. Okay. I did not know that. He's Dr. Psycho and Harley Quinn? Dr. Psycho and Apothecary Gary have the same voice? Oh my god, I can hear it. Oh my god, how did I not notice that? Of course, there's a lot of things. I didn't know that River from Star vs. had the same voice as Clayface. I know that it's the same voice actor. I just didn't know that he was doing the same voice. So there's that as well, to be fair. Oh, he's going to be in the Ghost and Molly McGee season 2. It's not listing what his character's name is going to be. It just says TBA at the moment, but he's listed for the Ghost and Molly. Okay. Moving on, though, just to continue on. Next was Annie Potts, who is Edme. And she is being listed here as Arlo's adopted mother, even though it didn't really give the vibes of that. Oh, I would not have guessed that. She was Bo Peep in the Toy Story movies. I would never have guessed that. Also, she's 70 years old. I would not have guessed Bo Peep's VA was that old. She's great for her age. She's like done a great job. Also, she was Janine in Ghostbusters? Really? Holy shit. I'm being blown away by a lot of things. I did not know. And apparently she had a cameo in the 2016 version, too. I never saw that. And she comes back as Janine in Ghostbusters Afterlife, apparently. Never saw that one either. Let's check television roles. What else has she been in that can completely throw me off? She's in an episode of Hercules? Disney's Hercules? Okay. She was a muse, apparently. Johnny Bravo? Ugly Betty? Okay. Huh, apparently she's part of the main cast in Young Sheldon. That's interesting. Okay. I know who Flea is. He's the guitarist. I think is it guitar or is it bass? He's the bassist. Okay. He's the bassist for Red Hot Chili Peppers. I know who Flea is. He was also in the Obi-Wan series. I know who Jennifer Coolidge is. So the next one I didn't recognize, and the last one I didn't recognize was Vincent Rodriguez III, who was Ansel, Arlo's father. So let's look him up real quick. I don't recognize him based on his appearance. Apparently he was in an episode of Adam Ruins Everything, but I wouldn't recognize him from that. He was in the movie White Snake, the Chinese-American movie that's also on Netflix, I believe. I haven't seen that, but he's in that. And that's literally the only other thing that I really know. But I haven't even seen. So, okay. Pretty interesting cast here. Okay, so let's actually, now that we're over 10 minutes into these afterthoughts, just talking about the cast, you guys are probably wondering what I thought about this. This had the potential to be one of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time. Just in terms of its visuals being just great. Its music being phenomenal. The characters being likable. Obviously, the found family trope, which is very much a big thing for me. Um, and especially the theme of, like, accepting yourself and others for their differences. And even if they seem weird or out of place, they deserve love and should be shown that. Should be able to get that. They shouldn't be looked down on for who they are, basically. And this is where my big issue comes in that keeps it from being any better that it is. And it's still really good. But it keeps it from being truly phenomenal as a movie. The pacing is shit. It is way too rushed. This movie is an hour and a half long. It needed, I would say, 15 to 20 more minutes. Because there were certain plot points that were excessively rushed. I'm fine with the reveal that Ansel is a bird man and everything. With the reveal that he was so obsessed with business and money and hiding away who you are because he did it himself, and he was trying to put his past where he was excessively bullied and mistreated behind him. I can dig that, and I can dig him being redeemed because of that. It happened way too quick. It was way too easy. There wasn't really a lot of stakes in it. In fact, like, right when you meet him, like, not counting the commercial or ad or whatever you want to call it that you see him in, the, I guess, news report. I guess that was a reporter who was talking to him. Not counting that, when Arlo actually meets him, he's really nice about it. Like, he's not rude at all. He turns Arlo away, and he does try to tell him that he needs to change who he is and, you know, all of that shit. But he's very nice about it. And it's very clear that he's hiding something. But it's a little too much so. It's a little too obvious he's not going to be a bad guy forever. On the other hand, you have the other bad guys of this, the tourist trap couple, who are trying to capture Arlo to use him as, you know, a way to get money and everything. They should not have been redeemed. The fact that they were kind of redeemed in the end, it's stupid. It comes out of nowhere. And it hurts their characters that they're that quick to change. They were terrible the entire time. There was nothing that built that up. Unlike with Ansel, where it was overly built up to the point where there was no mystery that he was going to become good. Or be proven to be good, I guess. With them, there was nothing that led to that. They were just scummy people the entire movie, and just suddenly at the end, it's like, oh, okay, we're good now. Whatever. And again, if you wanted to redeem them, you would have to make it work, and it would have to be less rushed. Not to mention, a lot of the conflict in this and a lot of things just went by so fast that you don't really get to know a lot about the characters. Like, a lot of our found family are super underdeveloped. The only one who really gets development is Birdie. She's kind of the deuteragonist after Arlo and everything. She gets some development, and she feels like her character worked, even with how it was paced, with her revealing her feelings about her past and everything to Arlo, and, you know, accepting him and everything. It all was timed well with her. The other characters in the group, they're barely characters. They have barely anything to them because there wasn't enough time to develop that many characters. Like, I don't dislike them. They have fun personalities. They just don't have much of anything to them outside of that. Like, Marcellus. He's a fish who was captured and trapped in an aquarium. Because of it, he has a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's a bit of a dick, but he's that's it. That's all we have to his character. There's no growth, yet suddenly at the end, he's just suddenly a lot more okay with everyone and a lot less of a dick. He's just they don't develop him at all. They don't do anything with him. He just suddenly becomes less of a dick. Alia, who is extremely likable in terms of her personality, who's really fun and silly and cutesy, it's like that's all she is. She doesn't have anything beyond that. Again, because it didn't give time to develop her. Same with Felicia. Same with Teeny Tiny Tony. It's like the ingredients are there. And that's why I'm glad that there is a series that follows this, because the series will be able to develop them a lot better. This movie needed more time. It needed to be longer. If it was longer, it could have developed them a lot more. It could have shown a lot more of like their past with being discriminated against and everything. And it would have fixed a lot. Not to mention had a little more time and a little more conflict with Ansel and everything, and explaining more, like going more into depth about him, like denying Arlo at first and even pushing him away a lot more before him coming to terms with everything. It's just it was way too rushed. Everything else was really great. Hell, even the idea of the story was a good idea. I had no issue with any of that. Again, my issue basically just entirely comes down to the pacing. All of these good ideas were squandered and rushed because there wasn't enough time to develop the amount of characters they had. There were just too many characters. There were some really great jokes in this. The music, again, phenomenal. Really great music. I can see why Arlo Beauregard was in the top 5 of American Idol. I can see that. Or I said Arlo Beauregard. I meant Michael J. Woodard. I meant the voice actor. I can see why he was in the top 5 of American Idol. Mary Lambert, gorgeous voice. I would say she has the best voice of the movie, in my opinion. But then again, I've already been a fan of her music, so to be fair. Obviously, Haley I don't know how to pronounce it. Haley was great. Marcy's VA, and apparently Miko's sister as well. She did a great job. Jonathan Van Ness did a great job. Brett Gelman did a great job. Tony Hale, so on and so forth. They did great jobs. The voice acting was really good. The singing was really good. Literally, my big issue is just the pacing. But again, the series is what, like 20 episodes or so? That's going to help a lot to develop these characters. I don't know if the intent was to give a series. I don't know if like this was literally made to bridge into the series. If this movie was made like purposefully to lead into a series, like that was always the plan, then I can hold back on the criticism a bit. Because if that's the case, then okay. I can live with that. Because I've seen other things that have done that. Generation 5 of My Little Pony has done that. With the New Generation movie, that was a lead-in to the series Make Your Mark. And the characters weren't entirely developed as much as they could have been in the movie. Big example of that being Pip, who is now my favorite character of Gen 5 so far. It's like she was probably the least developed of all of the main characters in the movie. Yet because of how she is in the series and even the YouTube shorts and all, it's like I like her a lot more. She's my favorite character now. It's like, so I get it. I get it. Um, and again, I love. There's a lot about this movie I love. I love the found family thing. Again, it's my favorite trope in all of media and all of fiction. I love the characters. They're good characters. I just think that a lot of them aren't developed as much as they could be. I love the songs. The music is so damn good. Every single song hits it out of the park. My only issue is the pacing. And again, let me see. Let me see if I can find out here, because I want to see if I can find out. There's not a lot listed here about production. It just lists the tracks. It was announced in 2020. This got apparently an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. Take that with a grain of salt. But it seems like, yeah, it got pretty good positive reviews, which I already knew about. It was nominated for multiple awards, but doesn't seem to have won anything. So yeah. I'm not seeing anything about the production of this, but if it looks like this, okay, this came out in April of 2021, April 16th, and in August of 2021 is when the series I Heart Arlo came out. Those are very close together, which means that the series it has to have been being worked on before the movie was even released. By that logic, I have to believe that that was the plan. I have to believe that it was always the plan that this was going to lead into the series, with maybe the caveat of, okay, they would stop production of it if the movie did really poorly, but it clearly didn't. But yeah, so if that's the case, if that is the case, I'll hold back on my criticism a little bit. I will hold back on that because the series will probably develop these characters a lot more. But again, outside of that issue, and even with that issue, I still think this is a great movie. Like a really great movie. And outside of that issue, it's like there's nothing else to really complain about except, the two real villains, I guess you could say, getting redeemed randomly out of nowhere in the end. But yeah, this was really good. So thank you to Gizmo for requesting this as a dono reward. Thank you so much. I'm really glad I've gotten to see this, because I was kind of always up in the air on whether I would ever check this out. I just wasn't really sure if I was that interested based on, because again, I'd seen images of Arlo prior. I knew what he looked like. I was just kind of on the fence. I wasn't sure if I would ever react to it or just even watch it on my own time. So I'm very glad you chose this. And maybe the series will be chosen as a donation reward in the future. Or maybe I'll somehow get to it otherwise, even with everything else already on my schedule. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on Arlo the Alligator Boy. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.